Wealthy welcome. Today we are doing crochet faux locks. So our model today, we will be doing a different technique based on the condition of her hair. So with this technique, we're going to do the braids sideways so that the braids fall straight back and down. So first we're going to make 2 cornrows. We're going to part off the edges first because she is getting individual crochet. We are going to first part off 2 cornrows closer to her edges, and these braids will be braided individually for the fullness of the edges. So once we do the cornrows, we're just going to connect the braid previously into the current braid, and continue to braid all the way down. And we'll continue this pattern on both sides. You also want to make sure you start with the middle part. It doesn't have to be straight. You can also do a zigzag middle part as well. But today we're using a straight part. And I'm going to continue this pattern throughout her entire head. So once we've completed our cornrows, as you can see, I did connect some of them. Whether we parted off our front 2 cornrows, we did have connected the other cornrows in the back. Then we're going to start our crochet. So what you will do, you will take your crochet needle and you will take your lock, and we're going to slide the crochet needle through under the braid, and we're going to make sure we keep the needle open. This way it allows for us to grab onto the hair and pull it through. So here we are. We're going to use our crochet needle, making sure the hook is open. We're going to slide the crochet needle, making sure it's open underneath the braid. Going to slide it just enough for the needle to be able to close. And then we're going to grab our crochet lock and pull it through. And we also want to make sure that this knot is very tight. Again, slide our hook under the braid, close the hook after we've slid it through the crochet lock, and pull it through. And we're going to make sure it's tight and that we create this knot. When you crochet, you want to leave a little space in between the braids so you do not make it over full. Also, as you can see, I am putting maybe about 4, and this creates that natural fall of faux locks. And we continue this method all throughout her head, throughout the cornrows. Keep in mind, if you do have smaller locks, you will have to place the crochet locks closer together, but because they are bigger, we do not have to put as many. Now at the front, we are going to do individual crochet. Same technique. We slide the needle under the braid, pull the lock through, and make sure we create a very tight knot. You also want to keep the braid under the lock because we're going to tuck it underneath, and you do not want your braid to show. Here I take my crochet needle and I put it in between the lock. I try to go at least the length of her hair, and we're just going to slide the crochet needle all the way up until we get to her root. Needle all the way up until we get to her root. Now We make sure our needle is open. We pull the braid through, close the hook, and then we just gently pull the braid through. Sometimes on longer hair, you may have to do this process twice, and we'll demonstrate that in a few. Same thing, bring our braid underneath our lock, our needle through our hook, and we're just going to pull the lock through. Making sure that knot is very tight, keeping our braid underneath or behind our lock. Seeing where the length of her hair is, and that is where I'm starting to insert the needle through the lock. You may have to use your index finger and your thumb just to guide your lock, to guide your needle inside of the lock. And I continue to push it all the way up until we get to her root. In here, we're going to take our needle, grab the braid from underneath. We want to get as close as possible to the knot. Take our braid, slide it in, close the hook, and pull the braid through. And here is the final look of our crochet faux locks with an individual perimeter.